What? This is nuts. Like, he did the wrong hand? Are you serious? Moses or whoever's writing this, is this true? And he's like, yeah, I know. It's a wild story. It's absolutely nuts. Hey, you cowards. Welcome to Joel Reads Bible. I read the Bible because you're afraid to. Why are you so scared of this book? Guys, you just have to open it and read the words. It's not hard, and it's not that scary. Oh, sorry. I just looked at it. It is actually frightening. Guys, I read the Bible so that you don't have to, and I do it with the NIV version because it's the one that sold the most copies, and somebody bought one for me. That's why I'm not spending money on this. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't have a budget, thanks. We just had a second devastation that the Lord brought on the world. No, it's not a flood, it's a famine. Come flood or famine. Well, this one's famine. It was orchestrated by God to big up Pharaoh and the Hebrews. So here we are at Genesis chapter 48, and if you wouldn't terribly mind, I would love a subscription. I'd love to click a subscription. It doesn't cost you anything. And also, if you wouldn't terribly mind, could you like the video? Leave a comment. Tell me how stupid I am. You're so stupid. What are you thinking? You got it way wrong, man. And sharing it wouldn't kill you, would it? Genesis 48, verse 1. Sometime later, Joseph was told, "Your father is ill." So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, which I think may actually be pronounced Ephraim. I've heard other people pronounce it Ephraim, and I'm like, why was I saying Ephraim this whole time? But as you know, if you've watched this series, I don't know how to pronounce any Bible names. I get them wrong all the time, sometimes on purpose, but in this case, I will change this to Ephraim. So he took his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, along with him. When Jacob was told, "Your son Joseph has come to you," Israel rallied his strength and sat up on the bed. In the same sentence, and I complain about this, Jacob and then Israel. Jacob and then Israel. Like, to pick one, guys. In the earlier chapters, it wasn't like, and then Abram was told, "Bring your son to the top of the mountain and kill him." And then Abraham raised the knife. Like, it was always just Abraham from then on. Why can't we just stick with Israel? Just stick with the one name. You changed the name, God. You changed it. Jacob said to Joseph, "God Almighty appeared to me at Luz in the land of Canaan, and there he blessed me and said to me, 'I am going to make you fruitful and increase your numbers.'" Dad, don't say, we know this. Dad, I've heard this. You don't have to, you're barely able to speak. You don't have to continue this. "I will make you a community of peoples." We've heard this, God. We've heard this, Israel, Jacob, Dad. You don't have to say it again. I've grown up hearing this stupid promise. "And I will give this land as an everlasting possession to your descendants after you, to your descendants after you." I know it, Dad. I know it. "To your descendants after you." Yes, Dad, I get it. Yes, Dad, calm down. I get it. You rallied just to repeat this? Why are you guys constantly repeating this shit? Oh my goodness, he goes on. "Now then, your two sons born to you in Egypt before I came to you here will be reckoned as mine." This is interesting because they're not pure Hebrews. So this is actually huge. I think this is a massive, I still don't believe it. I feel like there's still going to be a Hebrew kid. There's got to be. But he's just going like, no, they're full Hebrews now. Are you hearing this? Are you hearing this? This is a muddying of the pure bloodline. Are you getting that? "Ephraim and Manasseh will be mine, just as Reuben and Simeon are mine. Reuben banged my concubine. Reuben banged my concubine." Dad, that never happened. Dad, he's losing it. Dad, it never happened. "He did.
he had sex with Bilhah.
No, Dad, come on. That's crazy talk. Reuben would never do that. Reuben, can you come in here and tell him you never had sex with Bilhah? Dad, no, of course I never, why would it, I never had sex with Bilhah. God strike me dead. I wouldn't say, no, I'm not going to say that, but I would never, did you have sex? This is Joseph again. Did you have sex with Bilhah? Reuben, did you have sex with Bilhah? Have you seen her? She's ample. She has ample, like she's cute. She's actually kind of, I was in a dark place. I think, could we say my wife died? That was Judah's excuse. That was Judah's excuse for sleeping with Tamar. You can't use that excuse. Sorry, what's that, Dad?
Any children born to you after them will be yours in the territory they inherit. They will be reckoned under the names of their brothers. As I was returning from Padan, to my sorrow, Rachel died in the land of Canaan while we were still on the way and a little distance from Ephrath. So I buried her there. Beside the road to Ephrath.
That is Bethlehem. That breathing and stuff does take a lot out of me. So I can see how difficult it is for Jacob. And now he's just reminiscing and sort of, it seems like he's having a confession. I buried her there. I didn't even bring her back because her body would have rotted in the desert's heat. And they're just like, oh my goodness. When Israel saw the sons of Joseph, he asked,
who are these?
They are the sons God has given me here, Joseph said to his father. Then Israel said,
bring them to me
he doesn't die. He goes,
bring them to me so I may bless them. I only have one. So how am I blessing two? Well, let's see if I can bless two.
Let's see if he can bless two all of a sudden, because I thought they only had one blessing at a time. Unless Isaac just refused to bless Esau, even though he could have, but because Esau had Canaanite wives. But I'm surprised by this. So Jacob is taking Ephraim and Manasseh to be his actual blood sons, the way Reuben and Simeon are. These are going to be not grandsons. These are going to be his sons. I get them now. These are mine. Now, Israel's eyes were failing because of old age, and he could hardly see. I feel like there's a prank coming. Also, this is also genetic, Isaac had the same problem. Now his son has the problem. You get older, you can't see as well. So Joseph brought his sons close to him, and his father kissed them and embraced them. Okay, nothing too terrible yet. Israel said to Joseph,
I never expected to see your face again, and now God has allowed me to see your children too.
Then Joseph removed them from Israel's knees and bowed down with his face to the ground. And Joseph took both of them, Ephraim on his right towards Israel's left hand, and Manasseh on his left toward Israel's right hand, and brought them close to him. I feel like this is if you ever want to make a movie, if you ever want to do the play version, let's get specific with the stage directions. So he's going to be on the left, which would be Israel's left, which would be his left, which would be Israel's right, and then the other one is on his left, Israel's right. But Israel reached out his right hand and put it on Ephraim's head, though he was the younger. No, it's not a prank, it's a mistake. And crossing his arms, he put out his left hand on Manasseh's head, even though Manasseh was the firstborn. Then he blessed Joseph and said, is he blessing Joseph or is he blessing the boys?
May the God...
I'm not going to do the voice for this. I'm just going to power through it because I have a feeling it's going to be the same as we've heard a million times. May the God before whom my fathers Abraham and Isaac walked, the God who has been my shepherd all my life to this day, the angel who has delivered me from all harm, may he bless these boys. This is actually a nice blessing. May they be called by my name and the names of my fathers, Abraham and Isaac, and may they increase greatly upon the earth. Well, that part is traditional. It's traditional at this point. These blessings are nice sounding, and I think we're going to see a lot of stuff come up in the Bible that are really, really nice sounding. But when you kind of step back for a second, you go, it doesn't mean anything. Like, it doesn't really carry any weight. These are platitudes. They're lovely, lovely platitudes, but they're nothing that matter in any real sense. You know what I mean? May God be around and walk with you and angels and blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, but what if they don't exist? Then you're just saying, may nothing do anything ever at all for you. Good luck. When Joseph saw his father placing his right hand on Ephraim's head, he was displeased. So he took hold of his father's hand to move it from Ephraim's head to Manasseh's head. Joseph said to him, "No, my father, this one is the firstborn. Put your right hand on his head, because the right and left thing really, really matters." Keep in mind that rights and lefts, if you're ambidextrous, I don't know what to do with that. You sign that with your left hand? I can do both. Yeah, but nothing means anything if you're not using the right hand. Hands matter. Hands matter when we're talking about blessings. Oy vey. You can't just use your left hand on the right. The younger, this stuff is somehow, there's magic. There's magic. It's just so stupid. But his father refused. For why? And said,
"I know, my son, I know. He too will become a people, and he too will become great. Nevertheless, this younger brother will be greater than he, and his descendants will become a group of nations."
The Bible is on repeat. It's like, oh my goodness, you just did the make-believe blessing with the wrong hand on the younger one when typically it's done on the older one. Like, obviously, this must have been something that they, when they're writing this, the people that are reading it are probably like, what? What? This is nuts. Like, he did the wrong hand? Are you serious, Moses, or whoever's writing this? Is this true? And he's like, yeah, I know. It's a wild story. It's absolutely nuts. Like, why would you do that with your second born? It would be your firstborn, right? Yeah. Anyway, and then he played with his foreskin. But that's part of the vow. He played with his foreskin. But it's just like, what you get from it is that the rules and cultures and things of that day has no bearing on today. Because no bearing whatsoever on today. I don't know anyone sane that's doing blessings. Maybe we should be doing this. I'll change my tack. Maybe we should be doing blessings and, having fun with which kid we bless and which hand we use. He blessed them that day and said, "In your name will Israel pronounce this blessing. May God make you like Ephraim and Manasseh." They are them. What? So he put Ephraim ahead of Manasseh. Then Israel said to Joseph,
"I am about to die, but God will be with you and take you back to the land of your fathers. And to you, as one who is over your brothers, I give the ridge of land I took from the Amorites with my sword and my bow."
I don't remember Jacob taking land. I thought he bought land. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the ridge of land, he fought for that? So I did a really quick Google search, and I never do that, but it looks like maybe it happened, but they didn't record it or something, or maybe it references the Shechem debacle. Who knows? Who cares? It's fine. Joseph is getting some great land, and everything's going to be fine. So there you have it. I am just so surprised that there is some muddied bloodline here. There is some Egyptian blood in the Hebrews. This feels to me like too many epilogues. You know what I mean? Like too many endings. And then this happened, and then it's like the story's over. Okay? Like the famine thing happened, everyone's indentured. It's fine. By the way, I think the only one that should be indentured right now is Jacob. He should get new teeth. He's so old. You should get indentures. Servitude. Why are we here? I don't even know what's going to happen in the next 2 chapters, which are still Joseph. Like, come on. And by the way, Jacob's not even dead, so it might take some time. Anyway, subscribe because we're almost done Genesis. We don't even have to read that much more. It should already be over by the sounds of it. So guys, I feel like I'm going to cry because Genesis was just such a ride. Guys, as I say, subscribe, like the video, leave me a comment, and we'll see you next time for chapter 49.